Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let's just talk about it because I know you guys are going to request me to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Superman Son of Kal-El is canceled. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. And it's getting rebooted into a 6-issue miniseries called The Adventures of Superman, Jon Kent. And I know people are going to want to know what my feelings are or whatever. And at this point, honestly, I don't even care. I don't even care. When I tell you DC really has made me not care about Jon Kent anymore, like, as far as I can tell, this character is another forgotten character, just like when they forgot about Chris Kent, the adoptive son of Superman and Lois. How they did that, they screwed that character up. When he came back, he was on his father's side or whatever and stuff like that. So at this point, I'm just gonna look at Jon Kent just like I looked at Christopher Kent. It was fun while he was a kid, but as soon as they aged him up and did some weird bullshit to him, it was done. Even though the way they aged up Chris Kent actually worked for the story. If you never read the Chris Kent saga in Superman and Action Comics, is fantastic. I love that story, and I really wish they didn't forget about Chris Kent. But Jon Kent, he was fun while he lasted, and it's kind of weird that they're trying to do a Super Sons movie, but still trying to push this gay Jon Kent. You can't. DC is not going to work. People are not going to want to deal with the Super Sons if Jon Kent is still this aged up LGBT child. You're going to have to do away with one of them. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's not going to work. Like I said before, when it comes to the Trinity, you cannot attach LGBT on it and expect people to like it, especially if you're promoting it around the world. That's why you really don't see, quote unquote, oh, Wonder Woman's bisexual, but you'll never see the main timeline Wonder Woman kissing a woman. You just won't. Or you won't see the main timeline Batman kissing a man, or the main timeline Superman will be kissing, but you'll replace them. You'll push the Trinity out the way and try to replace them with diverse Batman, diverse Wonder Woman, and diverse Superman, and then try to attach LGBT on them to try to get your cake and eat it too. But again, you can't do that with global brands because, like I said before, I was talking to some people around the world on my Instagram and stuff like that, and they were pissed the hell off about the announcement with Jon Kent because, you know, certain countries, especially over in Europe and the Middle Easterns or whatever like that, they have laws against LGBT stuff, right? So a lot of those books don't get shipped over there. A lot of those books get banned. Now, Superman is the world's first superhero. Everyone knows this character, right? So why would you go on go on CNN? There is panel discussions about Superman shouldn't be gay. It's dumb. It doesn't make logical sense. And people were trying to be like, oh no, is everybody's being homophobic? No, it doesn't make sense. He's an American icon. He stands for truth, justice, the American way. He is the prime example of the American people. That should include his children too. No one wants to see anybody from the Superman family, Wonder Woman, or Batman family, with all due respect, as the LGBT person. People let the Batwoman thing pass. That's just one. But when you start saying, oh, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Ghostmaker, all of these other characters, and the same thing with Wonder Woman, all these other characters are starting to be LGBT. It doesn't work. It dilutes the franchise. It does not work with people. People don't want it, and you think you're doing something good by saying, oh well, we put him in Adventures of Superman, Jon Kent. No one cares. And then you're talking about a story where, oh, Jon Kent goes to confront Ultraman. It's about 2 years too late with that bullshit. I'm sorry. It's about 2 years too late. Who the hell cares? I don't care about it anymore. That story should have been, that should have been the first thing that should have been addressed after Jon Kent came back and Brian Michael Bennett's storyline. But it wasn't. So why do I have to care about it now? You have ruined that. I don't care. And in the moment you made him LGBT, you made him non-important. Oh, Tom Taylor was like, oh my God, this is the first passive Superman. My Superman is not only LGBT, but he's also passive. He's never made a punch to anybody the entire run. Congratulations for being a bitch. Like, it's called Superman. Do you not know what Superman is? Action comics and all that kind of stuff. People want action. I don't know what makes you think people don't want action. Why would I want to, like, I mean, I'm just being honest. Let's really talk about this for a bit, because I think we need to really talk about it. Like, the character is split in two ways. Is this, we need to make sure that we can still keep him kid Jon Kent, where with the Damian Wayne thing, Super Sons, but we also want to have this this teenage version of the character, but we want him to represent LGBT. It just can't work like that. And honest to God, as soon as Jon Kent got aged up, you have literally destroyed Damian Wayne as well. People were starting to like Damian Wayne, and I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't like Damian. I didn't like Damian. I thought Damian was full of shit in the body bag, honestly. He was an interesting concept, but I never really cared for Damian like that, honestly. I know some people will probably be like, what? No, I never cared about Damian like that. I think he's probably the least of my favorite Robins, you know? And I'm not about to say Stephanie, because I don't really consider Stephanie a Robin, honestly. I consider her a spoiler, because that's who she is. Yes, she had a brief time as Robin, but it is what it is with that one. But I never really liked it, Damian, honestly. But when they teamed him up with Jon Kent, he started to grow on me. And I was like, oh, okay, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's still a jackass, but he's more doable than he is with Jon Kent than by himself. And he started changing too. That's another thing too. He was also changing because of the influence that Jon Kent had on Damian. It worked. But when you aged him up, Damian went down a darker path, and now he's still going darker. His solo run, he still became a little bit darker. He had abandoned the Robin role. He didn't even want to be Robin. He didn't want to be referred to Robin. Yeah, he'll wear the Robin insignia, but he doesn't want to be associated with his father. He kept secrets from the Teen Titans or whatever after they broke up, and then he got a new Teen Titans back together. They did some dark stuff. He did some dark stuff. He abandoned the costume, got an all gray costume, and now we're doing a Batman versus Robin thing going on right now, which, because Damian went through a whole lot of stuff. I'm sorry, I don't mean to tangent, but the fact of the matter, and then let's even get into the fact of, you had Lois and Clark, who even in one of the recent issues of Action Comics, are upset that they never got a chance to raise John like they wanted to, because he went to space, he got lost in a black hole, and now he's 17, and everything is happening to him that they don't really understand, but they're trying to understand as parents, but they're fucking pissed off that their son is aged up, which is understandable for a parent to 1 minute have your 10-year-old son, then the next minute he's 17 years old. He's 17 years old for no goddamn reason, because the writer was too fucking lazy to do it. It is fucking ridiculous, the trash that you have done to this character, And I understand some people are going to be like, it's because fans are homophobic or whatever. But no, because a lot of people have always been telling you there are original LGBT characters that you could use or whatever, stuff like that. But you chose not to. Or you have a pacifist Superman who never threw a punch at all at any villain or anything, and he kept coming out to everybody every fucking issue. It took him 15 issues to tell one damn story, and it was worth a pile of shit, honestly. It really was. And Tom Taylor don't want to admit that his character is messing with a terrorist. I don't care what anybody said. And that's another thing too. Y'all will take a character, y'all make them LGBT, and then put them in a relationship with someone that is almost as worse than whatever it was. You know? Why are we doing this nonsense? That is a damn criminal. It doesn't matter what the reason is. He's a damn criminal. And Jon shouldn't be with him. It is weird. And like I said, again, it's borderline on some pedophilia shit. Because y'all, this isn't the thing. Y'all love aging up children nowadays, or making young children characters and then put them in a same-sex relationship. It is fucking weird. It is weird. Or age the child up just so they can get in a same-sex relationship. It is weird as hell. It's weird. It is weird. It is weird. Why is that the first thing you start thinking that you should do? Why is that the go-to when you age up a child to put them in a relationship? And now we're doing it worse off, where we're aging up the child to put them in a same-sex relationship, which makes no logical sense. People can accept a heterosexual relationship before they can accept a homosexual relationship. It is the truth. You can get mad all you want to. That is the truth. And again, your customer base is still predominantly damn straight males. Most people who read comic books are straight. They're not LGBT, so they don't want to see LGBT stuff. They don't. Yeah, that's nice and all that these superheroes, some superheroes are LGBT, but there's certain things with LGBT that you just can't add on. You can't keep taking classical characters and making them LGBT. Jon Kent is one of the primary reasons. But at this point, I pity the character, because the character has so much potential. And what are they trying to do? They're trying to go back and tell stories with him and Damian. They're trying to go back and tell stories of him as a kid by himself or whatever, before he discovers his father is Superman, or while he's developing his powers or whatever. And I just don't care. I don't care about Jon Kent anymore, because you made it where I don't need to care. You made it abundantly clear. If you don't like it, don't read it, don't buy it, none of that stuff. And guess what? I stopped reading it. I didn't buy it. I was done after the fucking kiss. I was done after the damn kiss. This is what you wanted. Congratulations. But you can't promote Jon Kent Super Sons to little boys or little kids in general, and then think that you're going to be able to have bisexual Jon Kent in comic books or anywhere else, or TV, show, film, all that nonsense. No, you're not going to be able to do that. I'm sorry. I know some people wish it was different, but you're not going to have that thing. You're just not. I'm sorry to tell you this. It's not going to work. It's honestly not going to work. Pick a lane, pick something. But Jon Kent, either if he's gonna stay bisexual, then you need to start showing him being bisexual, not gay. Which means that he needs to break up with Jay Nakamura, and then he needs to be on with the girl next time. That if you really want to be like, oh, the character's bisexual, then you need to do some John Constantine shit. And his default, the person that and he doesn't end up long with the man. Sorry. Because it's freaking weird. Jay Nakamura is older than Jon Kent. Technically, Jon Kent is a damn 10-year-old in a 17-year-old body, while Jay Nakamura is 18, 19 years old. So, so somebody who is almost close to an adult is making out with a minor. Do you not know how weird that is? I mean, yeah. I mean, he's going to get a miniseries. Okay, great. And then he's going to show up in Action Comics as some kind of Team Superman thing. But again, I don't care. You have made it where I do not care about this character. I don't want to see Jon Kent anymore, honestly. Honestly, if it was me, I would want you to kill Jon Kent off. Honest to God. Anytime you make any of these traditional straight characters or characters that, you know, been seen as straight to the audience for a long time and make them LGBT, just go ahead and kill them off. Honestly. I know that sounds terrible or whatever, but no, kill them off, because guess what? You're not going to get the readership that you want. You're not. I can't see where this is a good thing that he was bisexual. And then, even if you did want to make him bisexual, you shouldn't have focused on him being bisexual. You should have focused on him being Superman. If you wanted to do some romance tween LGBT bullshit, okay, that's fine. Take that shit to webtoons. But comics and webtoons and all are completely two different things. The reason why Wayne's Family work on webtoons is because the audience that reads that stuff, they like that stuff. That's for them. That's a niche audience, but that audience likes that stuff. You couldn't take Wayne Family adventures, and bring that shit into comic books. You couldn't put that in the arc of Batman or Detective Comics, because guess what? Everyone will walk away from it. You just can't. I understand some people want to be like, no, you honestly can't. You honestly can't do that. You have to understand what your audience is and what they want. What they want is, they want a traditional Superboy. They want a kid Superboy. They don't want an LGBT Superboy. They want a straight-laced, all-American boy who is the son of Superman, who's having fun adventures with his best friend Damian Wayne. That's what people want. That is what people want. You can't get mad that that's what people want. That's what people want. People have told you time and time again, that's what they want. So, either give it to them or let it go. That's how I feel. If you're not going to give the audience what they want with Jon Kent, then let the character go, die off, or let him become a significant part of Superman, and over time just have him disappear. Less appearances, he flies off, we never really hardly see him again, or, you know, literally send him off to the Legion of Superheroes and keep his ass there forever, and let him only make special appearances when we need to. That's what you can do for me. That's what you can do for the character. And that's how I have to look at it. That's how I feel about the cancellation of Superboy. People didn't want it. People told you they didn't want it. Tom Taylor tried to pretend like, oh, the world loves it, people are ready for it or whatever, and the people who are saying it are just homophobes or whatever and stuff like that. No, you use the speculator market to make it look like, oh my God, people really love this stuff or whatever and stuff like that. But people didn't care, because right after the book, right after that kiss, the comic book dropped. And it's been dropping ever since. And you can try to be like, oh, it's #1 right here for like 30 seconds on Amazon. But the truth is in the pudding. No matter what, the truth is in the pudding. You can get mad all you want to, but people are just telling the truth. You know, Tom Taylor. So, if I was you, I would do what other people been saying. Make this Jon Kent is not our Jon Kent. He's not Jon Kent. You can take the same kind of storyline that they had with the New 52 Superboy, where John Lane Kent comes and he's an evil Superboy, and he kind of comes and replaces Connor Kent when Connor Kent died or whatever, blah 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 blah. Who really cares? And then he was evil or whatever, and then they replaced him. He got replaced or whatever, and then he killed himself to make sure that this version of himself never existed or anything. You might need to do that with Jon Kent. That Jon Kent, when he fell in the black hole, he kind of split, and the real Jon Kent is in a phantom zone with the real Chris Kent. That's how I feel. And then what you can do is that new Superboy solo run, have him go out and realize that something is wrong with Jon Kent or whatever, but people don't really want to believe him or whatever because they feel like he's jealous that that he's being taken, that Jon Kent is replacing him in the mantle of Superboy. So then he goes off on his own or whatever, and maybe he'll bring Wonder Girl, since Wonder Girl is now quote unquote a detective or whatever, stuff like that. So they can read, not only can they go together and figure out what's going on, they can also go and rekindle their relationship or whatever, stuff like that. And have Superboy retrace the steps that Jon Kent took or whatever and stuff like that. And maybe get a help from a Blue Lantern. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. A Blue Lantern with the Hope or whatever. That way the dimensional hole that Jon Kent fell into or whatever and stuff like that is guarded by the Blue Lantern or whatever. But Connor believes that something is off or whatever and stuff like that. This would lead him into going in there with Wonder Girl, where they would also be in, well, they will also go inside that black hole, but they will also go into the Phantom Zone or whatever, stuff like that. This Phantom Zone is a pocket version of the Phantom Zone. It's still the Phantom Zone, but it's a part of the Phantom Zone that's been closed off. So the reason why Superman never knew about where his real son is, or Chris Kent, is because they've been closed off. This part is kind of like a remnants of the Paradise Falls. If you guys don't remember, the Paradise that at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earth, Earth 2 Superman with Earth 2 Lois Lane and Earth 3 Lex Luthor and Superboy Prime, they went into and they kind of see it or whatever. It's kind of like that, kind of like little paradise. I mean, it's kind of like a paradisal dimension kind of thing or whatever, stuff like that. And Jon and Chris can see everything outside, but they can't get outside or whatever, stuff like that. But Superboy, Wonder Girl, and maybe and the Blue Lantern that went in with them have been able to figure out how to, you know what I'm saying? I know it's a little crazy pitch. Wait, hold on. I am talking about a whole pitch right now, and I should probably do that as a separate video. So anyway, ignore all of that. Ignore all of that. But just do something like that, if that makes sense. If you guys probably like that, I can probably expand it a little bit more if you guys really want me to. But anyway, Superboy Son of Kal-El is canceled after 18 issues and is being rebooted as Adventures of Jon Kent. 6-issue miniseries that's probably going to end, and then after that, Jon Kent is going to be in Action Comics, and hopefully he'll start disappearing more into the comic book, so we never really have to hardly see him. And that's just how I feel about the situation. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.